So Sophie Cunningham is officially back with the Indiana Fever. But let's be real, this contract situation is way more complicated than it looks on the surface. From everything we know, she didn't exactly sign some massive deal. I wouldn't call it a complete lowball, but it's definitely below what she could have gotten in a different market, especially when you look at players like Bridget Carleton putting up similar value and reportedly earning more. If you compare the two, Sophie is clearly the stronger offensive weapon, while Carleton brings more on the defensive end. But overall, their impact and role on a team are pretty similar, and that's where things get interesting. For a 6-foot wing who can defend and knock down shots consistently, the going rate is usually somewhere around $800K a year. Sophie landing closer to $650K means she likely left around $150K on the table compared to what her value suggests. And yeah, by the sound of it, she's not exactly thrilled about that. Now here's the twist. It doesn't seem like she had a ton of better offers either. A big part of that comes down to timing and circumstance. She was coming off an injury, didn't get much face time in front of teams, and in pro sports, that matters more than people think. Even if you're medically cleared, if teams don't see you, they start questioning things. And front offices will use any uncertainty as leverage to bring your price down. It's just how the business works. You can actually hear that frustration when she talked about it publicly. She basically admitted the deal wasn't better than expected and hinted that the whole process was tough given everything she went through this offseason. At one point, it even sounded like she might leave Indiana altogether. The fact that she said the deal was close tells you negotiations went right down to wire. The Fever clearly hesitated before meeting her number, and eventually both sides landed somewhere in the middle, but not without tension. And when you zoom out, it's not just about Sophie. The Fever are heading into a serious salary crunch, with Aaliyah Boston taking up a much bigger cap percentage moving forward, and a future max deal looming for Caitlin Clark. This roster is going to get expensive fast. That's why players like Kelsey Mitchell and Sophie herself might not be long-term locks. There are already reports that Mitchell wanted a multi-year deal and the Fever weren't willing to commit. Instead, they offered a short-term solution, which usually tells you everything you need to know. So, realistically, keeping the core together beyond this season is going to be extremely difficult. Now, back to Sophie, because this is where it gets even more interesting. If she stays healthy and performs anywhere near the level she showed last season, she's setting herself up for a much bigger payday next year. With the cap rising, what looks like $900K next season is basically today's $700K. So a strong, healthy year could easily flip the situation in her favor. And honestly, her frustration is justified. There's a real argument that she outplayed several players who ended up getting better deals. Even internally, if you compare her to Lexi Hull, Sophie gives you more offensively, more playmaking, and more overall impact. Lexi brings energy, defense, and hustle, but if one player has the edge in almost every other area, most teams are still taking Sophie. We even saw it play out last season. She fought her way into the starting lineup, lost her spot due to injury, and then came back strong. During one stretch, she was playing at an elite level, arguably matching Aaliyah Boston in terms of impact over a 10-game span. That's why this deal feels off. It's not that she isn't valued. It's that the timing, injury concerns, and market dynamics all worked against her at once. And in the WNBA, where cap space is tight and margins are thin, that can cost you real money. Bottom line, Sophie Cunningham bet on herself. She took a shorter, lower deal now, hoping a healthy, productive season resets her value. And if that happens, don't be surprised if she cashes in big time next year, whether that's in Indiana or somewhere else.